Mark's watching with MTC Media with the Georgetown postgame, which is going to be much different than the one against Dartmouth as Georgetown beat American 79-57 on the strength of a 24-2 run in the second half that was led by freshmen that did not include Manu Muhammad. They had out there Riley and Beard and Mutombo was out there too, along with Dante Carey and Jalen Billingsley, and they pushed the lead out. Uh, they had three guys in double digits tonight. Muhammad led them with 14. Harris had uh, 13, and Donald Carey had 12. But the key matchup tonight was Muhammad and Becton. And in the first half, it was pretty much stalemate, which you have to give the freshman a lot of credit, especially when you consider that Becton has been an all conference defender in the past. They battled each other. A lot of times they were matched up against each other, which we rarely get those kind of matchups where it's your alpha against their alpha. But that was the matchup tonight. But really, what was the big thing for Georgetown was they needed a win and they needed a convincing win. And they certainly got it tonight by pushing away in the second half. Some things were still an issue. The 13 turnovers were still an issue. A lot of them unforced guys dribbling into two players or dribbling into a crowd, which you sort of expect out of the freshmen, but something that needs to stop if they want to get into the Big East play and get some wins. But for the most part, they dominated the boards. And probably the most shocking thing for me was that Mutombo, again, only played 9 minutes. I thought he'd play more. Billingsley certainly looked a little bit better in this game, scoring 8 points, grabbing 6 rebounds. The one thing he still does is when he's getting in help side, instead of getting all the way over there with his feet, he still tends to reach. And at times, he seems a little slow of foot. But if they can get that competitive juice in him and get him to play to his size, he's definitely going to be something to deal with. It's just getting him to do those things. As far as AU, I thought that I was a little surprised that early on they were straight posting Josh Alexander up on Timothy Iguefe, and I didn't understand why they weren't flashing to the high post. Now, when Iguefe went out, we saw Alexander at the high post a little bit more, but I didn't understand why they didn't do that early on. They wanted to throw the ball into him in the post. He did not make a shot until near the end. He was 2 for 7, 0 for 2, but for the most part, he's 0 for 4 in the first half, and he really wasn't effective in there outside of Becton Jr. Really offensively, American didn't have that many effective players, and they shot 4 for 19 from the 3-point line, which is what dogged Georgetown against Dartmouth was that 3-point shot. And we talked about it early before, that AU doesn't shoot the three as well as Dartmouth does, and that they were going to try to use that screen, pass, and cut to create driving lanes. And they did get a couple of backdoor cuts late. Becton got a couple from the weak side, but for the most part, Georgetown took care of that. So again, good win by the Hoyas tonight here at home, 79-57. They will return to the floor Friday against Siena. I will not be here for that one because, as some of you know, I coach at one of the local high schools in Fairfax County, and we have a scrimmage. So we'll have a pregame. Obviously, I'll record the game and have a postgame write-up, but probably little to nothing live, as I have to be evaluated as a coach and people can second-guess my moves. But again, Cap won here, Georgetown, with a big 22-point win over AU, and we'll see you tomorrow night out at College Park. We'll have a post-game wrap-up of George Mason and Maryland. See you then.